Okay, this is a Summer to Remember journal, and I took a doily from an estate sale and added the purple rosebuds to match the theme of purple, green, and orange muted colors. The cover is a manila file folder that I used a blending brush with watercolor to give it the textured leathery look, and then used the Dorland's cold wax to finish it so that the watercolor couldn't bleed into the fabric of the doily. The closure, the tie is on the back, and on the front is the eyelet to run the ribbon through to the inside here. This is a tag, which I have some writing on the back side, and that helps the title have a little pop here at the bottom. A class schedule, I believe. I loved how these, I don't know, let's see if it'll show better with the paper or not. The lace has the same flower design as this, which was fun in my stash. This is from the Secret Garden, a vintage copy that was falling apart. I got at a sale, and that's a writing space on the back of, that was just some playful art that I did with watercolor back in the day. And then scrapbook paper with pretty writing papers in there. Combination of textures and lines and plain. This, I believe, was from a children's book. And then these are just scrapbook paper cutoffs from making the pages. This book is 6 by 9, so I cut down 12 by 12 sheets. This is a tag for a door tag for our propane delivery. Stamps and a little bit of scraps for the cluster there. And this is the other side of the tag, the hanging tag. I just used the faux handmade paper there. These squares I got from Amazon. They're just a little pack of handmade papers, supposedly. They're pretty. Either way, I'm happy with them. And then this, I just put a paper clip over that. That could be hidden journaling space on the back side of there too. And then this is from a book page. And the doily I got it at a estate sale. That's a paper doily. I've never seen one with such detail. The ones today don't have that much detail, and they tear very easily when you pull them apart. And this was cut much more clean, so it came out really nice. And then tuck on the other side of this is a plant page. Oh, I didn't say the theme is orange. Yeah, I did. Orange, green, and purple. So that side has an orange plant and that side had purple. That was so fun. And then this was just nice green, orange, and purple on both sides. And she likes jokes. This is a gift for a friend. She had a friend pass away this winter. So this is a summer to remember her friend and a summer for her to make new memories with her new opportunities with internship the summer between her junior and senior year of college. And this is a book page. I don't remember. It might have been Martha's Vineyard, but I'm not sure. That pops out there, right on the back. These are just, let's see, yep, they're glued on the 3 sides to make a little pocket to tuck in like that. And then this is a children's book page that I put lined paper on the inside. Little cluster with stamp and scraps again. This had the yellow kind of tape, and so I used color pencil to make it orange so that the theme was there. These are the magnet bookmarks. Just, I got a huge, well, it's not huge. There's a bunch of them in a tiny little box from Amazon. They're fun. And this is side notes. This was a gift from a friend. And they've been working out great in here for tucks, but then the magnet just gives it a little extra stay power there. This is one of those hidden journaling spots. There was a sentiment here. I cut it out right away, and in hindsight, I wished I had left it and done just a little cluster to hide or camouflage the words were there, but my actions got ahead of my brain, so we did it this way. I glued in just a soft piece of the scrap paper, and you pull it out, and there's writing on both sides there. And I loved how the embroidery theme matched so well with the cover. So that was fun. Again, the orange, green, and purple. I just watched for that through all my books and my stash and pulled up pages to set aside for this one. This is more of that paper from the packs from Amazon. I don't know where I got this little foldable cover. It was just in my stash. I saved it from something and then put index cards in there for writing space. And then I got some Reader's Digest magazines free at a yard sale. And this is, I just thought this page was so cool, even though there's no purple, orange, or green on it. It's just awesome. Well, the edges are almost orange, aren't they? The where they've changed color over time. And then this is the center. So I did, this is the tool that I got, and it pivots. So you can just hold it and cut around these curvy things. I found it very pleasant to work with compared to fussy cutting with scissors, which I do for smaller, more intricate things, but this worked great for that. This lined paper has a pretty little design, and I love it when I can tear it out of the journal with these little edges. And this was just a calligraphy practice book. It feels kind of like parchment paper. And this was some of my original art that I photocopied to be able to put in there. Thomas Kincaid book. Oh, this is, I had surgery, carpal tunnel surgery. And that is the tape that some of my bandages, they sent me home with extra. Isn't that cool? So I used marker on there, Tombow, I believe, and smudged it with my finger to give it the texture. So that was cool. Another little stamp cluster. And this side, oh, just love that sunset purple. The green's a little brighter than the rest of the theme, but it still worked. I had to do it. And this is the faux handmade paper. It's freezer paper with crumpled tissue paper on it with bits of plastic and whatnot in between and ironed. You can even see I had the iron, I think, a little bit too hot. It turned out cool. I like it. The birth of Christ. And a couple of hymnal pages. I got my things in a variety of places: yard sales, online auction, estate sales, thrift stores. This is from a lady's devotional book. I love that picture. And since there was no green on this page, I added the green here to balance it and carry the theme through. A little writing spot there. Beautiful poem and a winter scene because it was winter when her friend died. There's just little double meanings throughout the pages. A little girl, the purple, orange, and green. It was just a vintage English book, which is beautiful in itself. But then when you find just the right image, it's just, oh. This is origami paper, and so is this, from a different pack. This has a little more sheen to it, and the other is pretty matte finished. And paper, purple, orange, and green. It's of Upper Michigan, which we're from Lower Michigan, but still, it works. How cool is that? Fun. She likes art too. I don't know what they're measuring there. At first I thought he was holding scissors. Oh, it's Albert. Phrenologist. I don't know. Made me smile. So it seemed appropriate. And then this is an envelope that's folded over the two edges of the page. So then there's a pocket within the envelope with all the fun colors there. I don't know what that's catching on. There we go. And then there's a pocket behind the envelope as well, which is this poem. And writing space. This was a tag for my husband's work pants. I was like, that's orange. It's so cool. I gotta have it. He's a little bit worried about me now. I'm saving all this junk. I said, if you can't beat them, join them. And this is a adult coloring book page. It's black and white. I don't know. I just liked the simplicity of it with this busy paper in the background. This is cut out from lace. And then I put a little folded writing space on the back. And then I also made that a tuck spot. And then the doily I folded and put in, so there's layers. So I have those there, and then this behind, which was a Reader's Digest cover. Look at all the purple, orange, and green. Yay! Just plain lined paper. There's a little bit of purple, orange, and green on there. Probably these fishies would be the best part to show. And then because this had the bold green, I added the purple and orange. This was a card that a friend mailed me after my dad passed. And I just loved them so much, I saved them and then decided to begin incorporating them in my journals. So this was a little paper book cover, and I used the DMC floss with the purple and green to add that touch there. And then there's writing space on the back with that as well. I just love this vintage notebook I found at an estate sale with handwritten science lesson notes. And then I made a pocket with the back of the envelope on the page. And this graph paper sheet I took out of the center of the book so that it could be folded and then opened up big. So that turned out pretty good, and it fit perfectly in a business size envelope pocket. So that worked out great, and that's the end. I decided to leave that plain because I thought she might like to add something on there or even write on there. And then that's the back side of the cover, which we tie at the top. Oops, this needs to scooch over. There we go. And we'll make that pretty before we give it to her again. Same here. So if you have any questions about anything I used or any of the process, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Thanks.